So what's going on, Melanin Fitness Nation? I got another one of our kinfolks in the hot seat. Oh my gosh, and I'm so excited for you all to meet April. I found out she's connected already with Melanin Fitness Nation, which is absolutely amazing, right? But before we get started, April, there is something that everybody has to do before we start our conversation. So I get to put you in the hot seat. You're going to
Uh-oh.
have to be on the clock, right? I'm going to give you 1 minute to gather your, well, not gather your thoughts, to spill your thoughts, right? And you're going to tell us anything about yourself. That can be personal, that can be fitness related, that can be work related, whatever it is. But you are going to break the ice. You could tell us your zodiac sign, anything under the sun, right? But you're
Man.
going to only have 1 minute to do so. And I haven't told you this already because I wanted you to be on your toes. You know, as fitness trainers, we have to do that. So we've already started the countdown right now anyway. And you have like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 seconds to gather your thoughts. Two, go.
I'm April Joy. I have two first names, and I've always hated that name growing up because I always thought that was really country. I'm from New York, so why do I have two first names? I learned to love it, and now I have to tell people that it's not my last name. So when people greet me, I say I'm April Joy. They're like, I'm John Brown. That's not my last name. I have four siblings. I'm the baby. I speak Spanish. I don't like when my feet hang out of the covers, no matter how hot or cold it is. I can't stand when my feet are outside of covers. It could be blazing hot. I don't like to sleep like without something over me. I have to have a sheet or something. I'm a side sleeper, a back sleeper, all the sleeper. Um, I like sunlight, but I don't like to be out in the heat. I'll pass out.
Okay.
I'll act funny. Two things that make me act different: being hungry, being too hot. Um, Originally from New York. I've been in the South for longer than any other place I've ever lived, and I love to eat all the things.
Lord. Done. You made it successfully. It's always so funny because some people can fill up a minute talking about themselves, and some people absolutely cannot do it. They're like, "What do I need to talk about?" That was absolutely amazing. So thank you for participating. I really appreciate it. I really, really do.
For that. That was cool. I was definitely not expecting that.
So let's talk about your fitness journey. How
Mm.
did you get where you're at right now? Tell us how you did it, where you came from, all the good and bad moments wrapped up into one.
I love that question because I think one of my favorite parts of fitness and my story is just letting people know I'm not an ex-athlete. Like I meet a lot of athletes, that have been trying to redefine what their life looks like in fitness post sports. I love that story. I respect that journey. Absolutely. But that's not my story. I cheered when I was probably in ninth grade at that's the last thing I ever did. And so, but I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease when I was in high school, right before I graduated high school to go to college. And I had a flare up that required the use of a steroid that caused me to gain so much weight. And, in my group of friends, there were four of us, and I was always the thicker one, like the bigger one. And, it impacted my self esteem to some extent, and I hated it. And then as an early adult, I took on a career of becoming a high school Spanish teacher. Honey, that was quite the journey. I loved teaching, had some, issues in that space because of the politics of education. But I really, really, really love the idea of showing students this is possible as a young Black woman to learn another language and to impact other people's lives doing so, and to make an income or an earning by doing it. But then I found that I was very unhappy with my life as a teacher. And part of my weight was also an issue. So I decided, I let my friend know. She was one of my best friends. And she's like, hey, why don't you just start walking around school? And I was like, okay, I guess I could do that after hours when the kids are gone. And then I happened to be in my classroom. I worked, like, my classroom was kind of in a dungeon. And so the radio was on. This tells you that it was a long time ago, because I don't know if anyone ever listened to the radio anymore. But the radio came on, and there was an ad for a local gym. It said, join for, excuse me, it may have said, join for 129, $9.99 a month. Well, I was a teacher. I was broke as hell. I had to call my mom, like, hey, mom, I want to join this gym. And I'm sure it was foreign to her because there's no one in my family that has ever embarked upon a healthy lifestyle before I did. We didn't know what gyms were. I can't even recall a gym being in a small town that I lived in. Like, what is a gym?
Mm-hmm.
When I was in college, I went to the gym maybe 4 times out of the whole 4 years I was there, and I complained every single time I went, and like hated it. And I only went because I was dragged by a friend. But to wrap this story up, found myself overweight, found fitness while I was in a very unhappy season of my life. And fitness became this one area of my life that I felt like I had so much control over it. And it brought me joy. So I hate going to work, but I love going to the gym. Those kids got on my nerves. I love going to the gym. It was something to always look forward to. And so that's what fitness kind of became for me, this area of my life that no matter what's happening, I can control this. I can let this be my, sanctuary, my safe place to let things out.
Nice.
So
I like it.
that's
I like it. I love it. I love it. So tell me, what two pieces of advice would you give someone starting their fitness journey today?
Ooh. Oh, I love this. I love this because it's not too, I love this because I wish somebody had told me. Your journey is your journey. Number one, like it doesn't have to look like anyone else's, and it's going to look different in different seasons of your life. So learn to be, I guess, pliable or adaptable, and to learn to pivot and shift, and know that this week I might go 5 days and next week it might be 2, and to not beat yourself up and to just go with that. The other piece of advice I would give would probably be find joy in it. Find joy in it. There are going to be hard moments in fitness, but choose the avenue of fitness that works for you, that makes you happy. There are so many different ways to get fit, to move your body, to get those endorphins going, and to feel really good. But there is not one way to do it. It doesn't have to be yoga. It doesn't have to be strength training. It doesn't have to be HIIT. It can be whatever brings you joy. But whatever it is, make sure you find the joy in it, because that's the only way you'll stick with it.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So tell us 2 of your favorite snacks. They can be healthy or they can be unhealthy. Go ahead and give us the tea.
It's funny that you asked that question, because I literally don't have any snacks in my house right now, and I'm very sad about it because I am hungry. But if I had to go with one of my unhealthy snacks, it's the new one. Actually, I just got up on this and I'm late. The Cheetos, the crunchy Cheetos. Like,
okay.
Why didn't anyone tell me that those were so good? Like, I haven't tried the hot flaming ones yet, but the crunchy Cheetos is one of my favorite snacks now. And then if I had to choose a healthier snack, it will be either like a rice cake with almond butter and maybe some blueberries and strawberries, or I'm not a big healthy snack person. Like, I want to eat. So I'm drawing a blank on that. Yeah, that's all I got right now, because I like meals and not snacks.
Okay. Well, there we go. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So tell us one of your favorite workout moves. Tell us what you like to do.
My favorite is a deadlift. Is a deadlift. It just makes me feel so strong. Like, yeah, you can back squat. Yeah, you can push overhead, but you cannot. That deadlift is like, it's my best lift, of course. And because you're using your legs and you're pushing, and so much of your body that's being used, it just tends to be the lift that most people can do the heaviest of. Now, back squat ain't nearly as strong as my deadlift, but it's the deadlift for me. Just the deadlift.
What about your least favorite move?
Push-ups. And we just did them yesterday in a workout, and I didn't choose that workout, that movement. I was like, hey, Em, you choose. And she was like, push-ups. I was like, you would put push-ups. I hate push-ups. Don't make me do them. I hate them. They don't feel great.
I love it.
What's the point?
Will you do push-ups for Cheetos?
I might. It's a newfound snack, so I'm not quite addicted yet, but I might.
Okay. So tell us 2 mottos that you live by.
Ooh, nothing is too hard.
Okay.
Nothing is too hard. And a second motto, treat people well.
Okay.
People well. Like, I was raised to like this thing, I will never, my father died when I was 12, but and that's pretty young, but there are things that you just don't forget that people tell you. And he always told me, never walk into a room without speaking to people. Like, you owe them the right to speak to them because they were already there. And so I think that kind of ties into treating people well, because you just never know who you are encountering. And I believe that is incredibly critical to treat people well, no matter who they are. The highest of the highs, the lowest of the low. Treat people well and speak when you walk into a room.
Nice. I know that's right. I know that's right. So this part of the conversation is called turning tables.
Mm,
And this time you are going to be able to ask me any question that you would like me to answer for you. So tell me what you got.
I like this. Where does your passion for people come from?
Um, I just feel like I was very fortunate throughout my journey to have people that came into my life that really helped push the envelope for me or push the needle in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like they were so hugely beneficial, not only in my personal career, but my personal development. I think that my ability to want to help people and enjoy helping people has came from people helping me.
That makes so much sense. I love that. So I get to ask another question.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
The next question is if money, time, distance, if none of this were an issue, what is one thing you would do with your life right now?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Doing it.
So I wouldn't change anything about it. I would still do the same thing that I'm doing now. But I would just do it on a much larger scale and just employ people under me to be able to help facilitate and reach more people. So
I
yeah,
love that. I love that. Pulling people up right underneath you. I love that. Okay, next question. You CrossFit, right?
I do.
What is your favorite? What's one of your favorite WODs?
So that I don't I don't really do WODs like that anymore, like hero WODs. I
Mm-hmm.
actually program my own workouts now.
Two snaps in a
Um,
circle.
yeah, so if I had to, I don't know. It would
What's
probably
your favorite
be
type of WOD to program?
um give me really give me double unders,
Yeah.
give me burpees,
No.
give me handstand push-ups, give
No.
me some power clean,
Yes.
um GHD sit-ups. I mean, really anything. Like I'm with all the shenanigans. Like any day of the
Clearly.
week, there's pretty much no I mean, there might be moves that I'm like, oh, I got to do this, but give me all of them. Like I don't really have moves that I'm just like I absolutely hate. I'm
Hmm.
pretty I'm pretty cool. Like I'll grunt through them. Maybe not so many pull ups, and
Mhm.
only that because I haven't been able to find a bar that works very well for me. But that's really it. Outside of
Okay.
that, I'm pretty game. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I like that. You are down for whatever. That's what we call DFW, down for
Yep.
whatever when it comes to fitness.
Whatever.
All right, are the tables still turned? Do I still get another
Yep.
question?
Keep going. Absolutely.
All right. What has been one of the how do I want to word this question? One of the biggest things you've overcome since being a Black woman in CrossFit?
When I got the cease and desist letter from CrossFit headquarters about Melanin Fitness, well, now Melanin Fitness Nation, Melanin CrossFitters, and their lack of support, their inability to figure out how they can support,
Mm,
and then their silence. So I think that kind of coupled with, I think a lot of times when we create businesses, especially being women of color, I think our audience that we have to sell and market to the most are our own people. So being able to overcome that and just feel like, okay, y'all, I'm still here. Like, you gonna come fool with me now? You gonna fuck with me today? You gonna fuck with me tomorrow? If not, I'm gonna see you. Like, it's okay if you don't want to rock with me right now. You gonna rock with me eventually.
eventually.
Um, eventually you're gonna rock with me. So it's okay. Like you just have to kind of be patient and persistent and just kind of like wear people down and let them see you move. So therefore they understand like I should definitely probably be a part of this.
I love it. I love that. I know that had to be a hard season for you. Because I heard, and I don't want to go too much into this conversation, but I know I heard you say the word, um, the inability to support, and the word that came to my mind was unwillingness, because we're
Mm-hmm.
all able. You have to be willing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave that right there. But my next question is, as a woman of color,
Mm-hmm.
a woman of color, it's so
Mm-hmm.
hard to be a woman, Lord, and then we got color.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what is it that you want our community to mm, know, learn, grasp, take by the horns, go with it, make? What is that for you?
That we need to be here. We need to be present. In order to do that, we have to focus on our health because there's so many times in a day that we have to give resources, things, time away to others.
Yep.
And very seldomly do we ever set aside time for ourselves.
Yes.
Our cup will be very empty and we're trying to pour from an empty cup. And eventually that catches up and
Yes.
it catches up in our weight. It catches up in our waistline. It catches up in our inability to even walk to the mailbox to get the mail. Now we're just stopping, you know, in the car and picking up the mail because we can't make it up the street. So I think giving time back to ourselves, because when we go to a job and we have an issue at the job, they make us correct it.
Yeah.
When we have an issue in our relationship, we either want to correct it or we want to point the finger at somebody else and say, we need to correct this now. But we never get a chance to stand in the mirror and say, I need to correct me because I can't show up for anybody else anymore until I show up for myself.
Right. I love that. I love that. And can we just talk really briefly about how health is so much more than just the physical? And it took me some time in fitness to realize this is not just about how I look. This is not just about how I perform in the gym. But when I use the word perform with potential clients or even clients, I'm like, how do you notice? Like, do you notice how you perform differently? I don't mean in a workout only. How do you perform in your everyday life? And it's not to say that you're on a stage, but for some people, they are on a stage or are in a spotlight to some extent in whatever industry they work or show up every day. How do you feel? Is it better? Is it worse? Are you thinking positively about yourself? What are the inputs that are happening? Are you looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, oh my God, I'm so this, I'm so that? Like all of that is part of health. And I love that. I love that you said we needed to be present and not just physically present, like living on earth, but to be present in your everyday life. Because if you are distracted by so many things that are stressing you out, unhealthy, then you can't enjoy the moments and you can't really find the joy, which is really big for me. And that's a play on my name, since my name is April Joy, J-O-I. And so if I type it to people, they know they're going to see the word joy with an I. But find joy in the things that are going on around you or the things that are happening for you. That's been a shift for me lately. Instead of saying, oh God, this is happening to me, it's like, thank you, Lord, that this is happening for me because it's going to work out for my good. So thank you. I love that answer.
You're so welcome. So any other questions? Tell me any other questions you have. One last question. What you got?
One last question. Dang. I don't know. I can't think of anything. There's so many. There's so many things I could ask you. What's your favorite non-fitness related activity to do?
Non-fitness related activity. I mean, I like to play left, right, center for money. That's an activity.
So that's a real thing because I literally just played that for the first time this weekend and I've never heard of that game until this past Saturday.
It's $3 a game. What do you mean? These are like the biggest come ups ever. They're like the best. Let me tell you, we're having this. I know it's probably going to be a little bit out of the box. People will be like, this is going to be a little ratchet, but it's not. But we are definitely playing left, right, center for the gala. Like we are definitely playing. Bring your $3 bills. We are definitely going to have three left, right, center going. Do you know how big the pot is going to be?
I'm bringing more than $3 bills. I'm bringing a few so that I can get in the game a couple of times because I was so mad. Yes. I got an invite to this party this weekend and her husband was like, make sure you bring $3. And I was like, who keeps cash? So I had to ask my friend for $3. I think I found a random dollar in the drawer. You know, you got that junk drawer in the kitchen. And so I went and I'm like, hey, y'all, I got to go soon, but what's this $3 game? The best. And when I was out and saw the pod, there were like 15 of us playing. I was like, I wish I had $3 more. And don't let me play.
We had like 20 people play.
Listen, I'm bringing a few sets of $3. Okay. And I'm gonna ask the high rollers, you want to put in a 5 or a 10?
There you go.
That game is fun. It's so simple. Like it doesn't require any skill. It doesn't require any thinking. There's no strategy. It's just all about the luck of the draw. I like it.
The luck of the draw and the negotiations you make underneath the table.
Oh, I need some lessons on that because I didn't know that was a thing.
It's definitely a thing. Like if you're playing left, right, center, and somebody's across the table, I might make a deal with you before the game starts to say, look, if you get the pot, we're gonna go half on this pot. If I get the pot, we'll go half on this pot.
Why did I
I'm
think
pretty good with spades too, so any of those things I can just
I don't want to talk about spades. We talked about that night as well.
sequence.
I had somebody try to take my black card because I don't know how to play. But you know
So
how black people are about spades. They take it so seriously. So they don't ever. I asked all throughout college. Nobody wanted to teach me because it's so serious.
I'll teach you. It's fine.
Thank you.
I'll teach you. If you know how to work, if you know how to count, and you count anywhere, you're a coach. So if you know how to count, it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
You can learn how to count the cards. It's super easy. So yeah,
Good.
I got it.
I played it before, but I don't remember how, and I never really grasped it. So let me write a note that Leslie is going to teach me. Got my
You
note.
have me recorded. I can't even get out of it if I wanted to.
Good.
You literally have me recorded.
I'm writing it down. Perfect.
So guess what, y'all? April has given us most of her tea today, but she hasn't given us the tea of all. April, can you please shout out your business and how people can connect with you and enjoy your energy and work out with you and all the things?
Absolutely. So the name of my business is Train with Joy. Like Train with Joy. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I am an online fitness coach. You can probably check me out around the city of Charlotte, hosting some pop-up events with fitness and talks and things of that nature. You can find me on IG. I am April Joy, APRYLJOI.
Perfect. Well, you all got all the tea. We will definitely get her back in the hot seat again. We are brewing some things together. So hopefully we can mesh the worlds together and she'll be down for the gala to turn up with us. So we're super excited. Bring Jasmine too, because we're still waiting for her to make an appearance. Okay.
I'm going to text her as soon as we hang up.
All right, y'all. Until next time, we will give you another Melanin Fitness Nation person to fill all the tea. But until next time, be sure to check out April's website. Well, April Joy's website and her social media. Peace, y'all.
Thank you.